Good morning, Greenlight the Day family. Welcome back. My name is Jane. I hope you can hear me. I've heard that my videos are very quiet. And I think part of it's because it's usually like 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm making this and I don't want to wake up my family. But, and you know, this is the time of the morning where you're kind of being introspective and reflective and grateful, you know, to have woken up and you're setting your intention. And to me, that's like always when I'm setting my intention and for the day and, you know, saying my gratitude prayer, it always feels like sacred space, and sacred spaces make me feel quiet. So I promise I will try harder to talk up louder on these vlogs for 2015. So today, how I'm going to greenlight my day is that I decided to join a project called TheHappinessJar. ElizabethGilbert, she's somebody I follow on Facebook, and she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, but really it's for where I became a real fan is in her TED Talks about the creative genius. And then I fell in love with her book, The Signature of All Things. That's the book that did it for me more than Eat, Pray, Love. She's a fascinating writer, and she wrote a character in The Signature of All Things, Alma Whitaker, who after I finished the book I wished was still alive. You know, like was real, actually. Not still alive, but real. Feels like still alive because I get lost in the stories, right? Those people become real. And I just wanted to sit at Alma Whitaker's feet, you know, when she was 80 years old and ask her questions about her life. Even though I read about it, I read the story of her life, I felt like I still had questions. I wanted to pick her brain and know more. So, the Happiness Project. This is what Elizabeth Gilbert posted on Facebook, and I'm going to put the link below. Let me read it real quick, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And so, she calls it happiness jars. Dear ones, here it is the end of the year, and I thought it might be a good time to reintroduce to you all the concept of a happiness jar. Here's me with mine, and she has a picture of her and her jar of happiness. What is a happiness jar? The simplest thing in the world. You get yourself a jar or a box or a vessel of any kind, and every day at the end of the day, you grab a slip of paper and write down on it the happiest moment of the day. Even on lousy days, you do this, because even on lousy days, there is one best moment, or at least one least worst moment. You stick that little piece of paper in the jar. Over the years, you have a record of your happiness. On bad days, I will thrust my fist in that jar and go fishing, pulling up a handful of great moments that I would have utterly forgotten had I not documented them. I've been doing this practice for years and I love it. If my house ever caught on fire, this would be the one material object I would grab before I ran out the door. Because what's inside this jar? That's where it's at, the whole point of this life. Over the years, my happiness jar has taught me much. What continually amazes me is that what ends up on the slip of paper every day. Not awesome events, not huge achievements. Usually just a small and tiny thing, a moment of awareness. That moment when you step outside and between the house and the car, you get hit on the top of the head with a beam of sunlight and suddenly feel awash with gratitude simply for being alive, and you think, yes, this is it. It's usually something that small and something that grand. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. And this morning, that is what is going to greenlight my day. I have begun my happiness jar. And I'm looking forward to the days when I can just grab a handful and look at them and remember that moment, that tiny moment in 24 hours that I plucked happiness out, recorded it for all time. The happiness of my life. The happiness of my life. It makes me want to cry. So that's how I'm going to greenlight my day. I love you. I hope that you all are going to have an amazing week, that you're excited about 2015, that we bring it and that we greenlight it. I love you. Make it green, people. Make it very green. We'll see ya.